Hello, my friends. I'm very happy to have you with me today. Whether this is your first time joining our community or you're a returning friend, welcome. We're about to embark on a journey of awareness and empowerment, one that is crucial for navigating the complexities of our modern world. In this video, we will talk about something we all face daily, a force so common that we rarely notice its direct impact on us. It's a tool we use and encounter constantly, yet its true power often remains hidden in plain sight. I'm talking about words. Yes, words. They may seem innocent, but they are capable of guiding our thoughts, stirring our emotions, and even shattering our decisions. A single, well-placed phrase can make us doubt our own memories, question our perceptions, and undermine our confidence entirely. Allow me to ask you a small question. Have you ever been in a discussion, certain of your position, only to walk away feeling confused and wrong, even though you knew deep down that you were right? Have you found yourself agreeing to something you don't want to do, just because someone chose their words so carefully? If your answer is yes, if that feeling of being subtly cornered is familiar, then you have experienced verbal manipulation. It's a quiet form of control, and understanding it is the first step toward protecting your peace of mind. That's our goal today, to pull back the curtain on this phenomenon. Words are not just letters, they are a silent energy. Sometimes a single word can make you feel guilty, scared, or confused. Imagine a simple situation with me. Your friend says to you in a nice way, "You always act this way, do you know why?" It seems like a normal thing to say, but it plants the idea in your mind that you are always wrong, and that you need to justify yourself. This is what we call silent verbal manipulation. It is the most dangerous because it leaves no direct traces, and most people can't recognize it until after some time has passed. One of the real stories I know happened to a friend who was in a business meeting, and his colleague told him in a friendly way, "You're not sure about this, are you?" There was no direct criticism, but he started doubting himself all day, and began to retract his suggestions even though they were correct. Imagine the power of words, isn't it amazing? There are many techniques that people use to persuade or control us, without shouting or threats. Creating the illusion of facts, words that make something seem logical and real, even if it's the opposite. Instilling a sense of guilt. Phrases like, "If you loved me, you wouldn't have done that," are enough to make a person act against their will. Exaggerating praise or criticism, here self-confidence is manipulated, either to reinforce control over the person or to embarrass them in a subtle way. Let's start with a classic scenario. A colleague says, "You're the only one who can do this correctly." It's a masterfully crafted statement. On one hand, it's a compliment that strokes your ego, you feel valued. But on the other, a subtle trap has been set. An internal pressure builds, a sense of obligation that makes it incredibly difficult to refuse. Saying no suddenly feels like you're not just turning down a task, but also rejecting their praise. This is a textbook example of verbal manipulation. It's not aggressive or overtly demanding, which is precisely why it's so effective. It bypasses your logical defenses by appealing directly to your emotions and your desire to be seen as a helpful person. Now let's look at a true story. A friend of mine had a new colleague who was the picture of friendliness, always smiling and speaking gently. But underneath this pleasant exterior, there was a pattern. The colleague would constantly use seemingly innocent phrases to chip away at my friend's boundaries, like, "Oh, you're so good at these reports, could you just take a quick look at mine?" At first, my friend didn't think much of it. But as weeks passed, he found himself consistently staying late to finish the colleague's quick tasks. He started agreeing to things he didn't have the bandwidth for, and worse, he began justifying his own workload in meetings. The manipulation was so gradual, so cloaked in kindness, that he couldn't see the web being woven around him. These stories reveal a crucial truth. Words can be more powerful than a direct threat. A threat is obvious. But this kind of verbal maneuvering is insidious. It plants seeds of doubt. Am I being selfish? It cultivates a fear of being seen as uncooperative. And it builds a heavy sense of obligation that makes you act against your own best interests, all without a single harsh word ever being spoken. Now, let's move on to the most important part. How do you protect yourself from verbal manipulation? The first step is awareness. The more aware you are of the effect words have on you, the harder it will be to manipulate you. Learn to pause before responding. When you feel pressured, stop for a moment and give yourself space to think. Ask for clarification and ask questions, instead of agreeing immediately. This gives you time to understand the real intention behind the words. Maintain your self-confidence. Don't let others' words reshape your inner convictions. Set your boundaries calmly. You can say, "I need to think about this," or "Let's talk later," without feeling guilty. There are also daily tips to avoid verbal manipulation. Notice the tone of voice and body language during a conversation, as they often reflect the true intention. Notice the recurring phrases that make you feel guilty or afraid. Make a mental note of examples of people who have tried to manipulate you and how you reacted. This will increase your awareness in the future. Use your words wisely. Learn to be assertive but friendly in your responses, as this reduces the chances of being manipulated. My friends, what we've learned today is that words are never innocent. They can carry more power than any weapon, used for noble purposes or to cause deep, invisible wounds. This power is often wielded subtly to distort reality and erode your self-worth. Understanding this isn't about becoming cynical. It's about becoming discerning and prepared. Awareness, patience, the ability to think before responding, and the ability to set boundaries are our real weapons against verbal manipulation. Awareness is your early warning system, that gut feeling that something isn't right. Patience gives you the power to refuse to be rushed. It's perfectly fine to say, "I need a moment to process that." And boundaries are the clear, respectful lines you draw to protect your mental peace. They are not walls, they are gates, and you are the gatekeeper. Remember that practicing this is a skill that strengthens over time. Don't let anyone control your thoughts or feelings with just words. This is about reclaiming your personal sovereignty and trusting your own perception of reality. You are the author of your own story, and you hold the pen. Become the one who chooses when and what to say. Thank you for watching. I'm very happy that you were with me on this journey. If you found value, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with someone who needs this information. Your share could be a catalyst for positive change. I also look forward to hearing your opinions and experiences in the comments. What's one boundary-setting phrase that has worked for you? Your participation helps us all learn together. Finally, follow us for more videos that reveal the secrets of daily life and give you greater awareness.